Welcome to Future of Our People. It's a podcast series dedicated to leaders who are shaping the future of our work. Each episode, we engage with CEOs and senior leaders, delving into transformative dynamics of today's workforce. Our goal is to generate authentic and real-world content that resonates with professionals across industries, offering them both inspiration and practical insights for both personal and professional growth. On that note, I'm thrilled to join by Mr. Shreekumar Nair, who is the CEO of Vincacyber. Sir, it's a pleasure to have you with us. First and foremost, Happy New Year. How are you doing?
Thank you. Thank you, Kiran, for having me here.
It's
in
great.
your podcast. I've seen and heard good things about you and your activities. And I'm very, very excited to be with you to share about whatever you want to know.
No, brilliant. That's great. First and foremost, that's great. You had a good break as well. So let's jump right in, Shri. I know Vincacyber aims to be one of the most trusted and innovative best-of-breed security and solutions provider. And what impressed me is you're known in the industry as one of the people, commitment, and quality solutions provider, right? Can you please talk us through or walk us through in terms of your evolution, where you started and where you are now in terms of your team and revenue growth?
Yeah, perfect, Kiran. Thanks for this question. You are asking the why of Vinca. And it all started 6 years back. We were two friends who met elsewhere, and both of us used to work briefly in Kenya. In my Juniper stint, I had in between two stints, I worked in Kenya, and then I met this gentleman there who was very passionate in security and all those things. But that time I didn't know security at all. And in Kenya, that company was in a different plane altogether. So we had a couple of social engagements, and then he joined McAfee, which was his favorite or passionate company. He left everything and joined here. And then within a couple of months, I got a break again back in Juniper, welcoming me. I came back, and then we started meeting, and then that's what we said, let's do something. And then I said, something is good, but what in something? Like, what can be the bigger costs? Okay, business is there, money is there. We've all worked in MNCs. We've done, what can be the bigger cost? Why can we be different? And that's how we declared that we'll do something about contribution, creating 5,000 jobs. I said, that's what inspires us, creating jobs. Okay. And then cybersecurity became the medium for us, because we saw that it was growing. In my previous Juniper avatar, I got to learn a little bit of that, because we used to run firewall. And since Uttam, my colleague, my friend, who's the founder, he knew lots about cybersecurity, because he lived only in cybersecurity, nothing else. And best part is, he comes from a village where everybody aspires to be in military army. And he was one guy who came out of that, and he joined cybersecurity. Wow. And his brother is still a commando there. And so we joined hands, and that inspiration of creating jobs what brought us together. And then, fortunate for us, we got our first break when a friend of mine who was in Tanzania called me and said, I'm getting stuck, my 2 million is stuck. This CISO is not letting me sign off. Can you help me? Okay. And then I said, okay. And this guy was the one who I interviewed. And I said, don't join my company in Africa. I said, wherever you are, you do these small tips. And today is a director there. So he called me, and then we assembled quickly. Our third co-founder was doing something else. We called him immediately. We didn't have a company then. We didn't have a registered company also. We took another company of another friend, told my Kenya African friend to send the money there. We roped in another friend and told him, you jump in and you create this. But that was the first experience where we learned a lot of things, because the person there, I still remember Sam. We keep telling in our company that we should do a puja of him, because of him we learned a lot of good things. He was a PhD and extraordinarily good in English, and we did the implementation, everything. For sign up, we literally took a huge time, because documentation was one area which we struggled. But thanks to that kind of initial days, I would say you got a Guruji without paying him. And we cursed him that time, because money was getting stuck. We were just startup, bootstrap. We don't have anything. And by the time we registered our company, so this gentleman brought us to what we are today, I would say, because every stage we got somebody or the other who actually indirectly mentored us, corrected us. So today also when I go to the customer, I tell them, sir, I am good, but don't depend on that. You be nasty. Because that is what is important. Because if you slip, I have a tendency to slip again because I will rest on my good laurels and not do a good job. So your job is to be the way you are. I will do my good job, but then you will get best of us. And that is our secret mantra. We tell the customer, and reviews are taken seriously, feedbacks are taken extraordinarily seriously. If the customer is complaining us, it is like a beautiful reward he's giving us. Because that is an opportunity for us to learn and grow further. Because none of us have entrepreneurial experience earlier. We worked in MNCs, and our objective is how can I create Vincacyber as an MNC, where we attract talents and we go global. And that is how it's all started. And then we roped in another friend of mine who was my colleague in EMC. Then he worked in Oracle Diebold. We said, okay, why don't you come and join and strengthen the sales part of it? Uttam's manager Rajesh was there. We got him on board. He was from a delivery side and extraordinary good in technical delivery and all those things. We knew our strength. I knew my strength. I said collaboration is the only way to succeed. Because I'm inspired by that old story of I don't know, you know this. In Doordarshan, there should be a small cartoon series called Mini, a small fish. Ek machli, anek machliya. Okay, so that still imbibes me, and that is what Vinca is all about. Vinca is like a platform where all these small machlis will come together, and we can take all the big sharks. And even now, we don't address anybody as employees. They are all colleagues, all our associates or team members. All associates and team members, and that's how the whole thing is. And it's a fun, lot of learning, lot of unlearning. In fact, I would say for me it's totally learning, because I have been a director and all those things, or senior member in MNCs, but then in MNCs you are only exposed to your work. You don't know anything else. There are hundreds of people to work for you. Like you are an MBA, but you never used an MBA so well. So here you have to literally know one thing, that how to run a company. And I had no experience in that, and none of us had the experience in that. And it's learning, faltering, getting up, kicking, getting kicked. And it's fun.
You say that
today.
Learning never stops. But first and foremost, I love the aspiration that you want to create 5,000 jobs. I mean, to be honest, the way that you're growing, and especially over the last 2 years, you almost had a 50% increase, right?
Yeah.
Of employee growth. That's pretty impressive, Shree. And I loved your, and I'm sure our viewers will love it as well. Your secret mantra is all about customer service, right? How you take pride in what you do and how you do and how you deliver, and being upfront. And with regards to cybersecurity, nobody can afford to take a risk, right? I mean, it's as many eyes looking into it, it's much better, because this is no longer a technology risk, it's a business risk, right?
Yep. You get CISOs fired because they are part of the boardroom now.
Absolutely. In fact, one of the research, Shri, I was looking into it in terms of one of the data point of Predict. In fact, it's so stressful, CISO, right? Because it's one of the high priority, this cybersecurity. In fact, almost 50% of the security leaders are looking for shifting their jobs, or perhaps changing into different role because of the stress involved. I'm not sure how much is that you come across in your day-to-day, because you breathe the solutions day in, day out. You have more conversations than those predictions that we have read. What's your take on it?
My pitch to CISOs and CIOs is, can I give you 10 minutes extra sleep?
That's what they need.
Actually,
yeah.
Actually, because what I imply, or what I want to communicate is, or what I'm communicating is, there is somebody like us who can actually allow them to have peace of mind. Because our approach is very different than many of the organizations who are so-called cybersecurity. We are pure play cybersecurity managed services provider, and our USP is we take pride in taking the ownership ourselves, and that is how we have built ourselves. So in fact, what you said is so appropriate today. I only asked them only one question. Is 99 better or 100 better or 90 better? You tell. Because then I know if you have a patience, like your bearing capacity. Example, just before this call, I was talking to a CISO and I was asking only one question. And I asked him only one thing. Sir, if you are okay with 90, then my pitch is different. If you are not okay with 90, and if you want to reach 99, then the pitch is different. Then you have to be open to agree to whatever new things are coming in, because whatever you did till now got you only 90. Now, can we do it together? And that is what the approach is all about. Because I have to see, he has to start confiding in me, trusting in me. And to reach that level, one is okay, what other customers are saying, but then just like this customer of mine, 3 years, 4 years, I'm talking to him. He's a bank, and we did this, and then few days back I had sent him. I keep sending a lot of snippets to some of my CIO, CISO friends, and then he said, "Do you do this?" So he keeps asking us. I keep entertaining those things because I know that he's actually wanting to look at something, but something is not fitting in whatever I am offering him. That's perfectly all right. But then my approach is, can I ask the practitioners what they're going through? Because then I can deliver it better, because I can deliver a better solution, because as you rightly said, they are under huge pressure. But what causes pressure? Okay, if I go to that breakup, and then I can prioritize. Okay, so most of our solutions are based on those prioritization. Today we have done that research. Unknowingly, knowingly, we have spoken to many of them, and they told, "Arey, this is problem, that is problem." Okay, and then we realized that, oh God, this is where it is. And then we started looking at solutions. And one of the USPs of ours is we don't look at big brands. We look at use cases, okay, use cases that will make the CISO win or CIO win. Okay, because I am not looking at product at all. I am product agnostic. Okay, but if I am given a chance to give a solution, then mine will be the best. That's what we say. But then we got into, like, example, a customer like Emphasis, a 33,000 user company. 4 5 years, like today we are 6 years old. They were evaluating some cloud security company to help them. And somebody referred us there, and we went there. We did whatever we did. They liked us because we already had cloud security. We had done for a couple of customers, and they found that our knowledge was much ahead of the curve. So one of the things what we do is ahead of the curve. That is how Vinca is today. Offerings are all about the ahead of the curve. And they kept a very large Big Four aside and gave us the project.
Amazing.
Yeah, I didn't want to name the Big Four because it will not be official. But then that gave us the confidence. And then we only told the CIO only one thing: "Sir, our job is to make you win." Because I was in MNC in business and sales. And I said, I have been taught how to handle objections. And even if I am 90 and you wanted 95, I'll still sell you 90. And I'll convince you that why 90 is better than 95. Okay, that is my training. But in my job as a consultant and advisor, I will tell you why 95 is not good and why 98, 90, 90, 99 is better. And that is what they liked it. I said that is how the approach will be. And even if I'm aligned to a product and all, I will not use that. What I will do is, what we as a company will do is, we'll first understand the use case. So the maximum time was spent in understanding use case. We created almost 220 plus use cases. Okay. And then we had the likes of all the big names: Microsoft, Checkpoint, Forcepoint, McAfee, many others, Nextscope, and Palo Alto. Everybody was there, and we were the consultant. Okay, and today my author is different. Something changed in ourselves, but then I'll tell you what. So that's where we did the evaluation. We put the everything in order, and we had told the customer we will not do POC for more than one. He said, "No, you should do two." I said, "No, sir, non-required. Trust us." And fortunately, we could build that trust. He trusted us. We selected a solution, and then they agreed for the zero trust journey. They involved us. They also removed the existing semantic. They involved us. And when it came to implementation, they said, "Why not yourself? Because you know the system too well." Since it was not a government organization as such, fortunately, they agreed that, okay, we can do a good job. And that's how our first large $1 million order would have come did come to us, and we implemented that the whole thing and all. So very early, our approach has been very, very customer focused. How to make him win? Because rightly said, you said the right thing. He is worried because buying is not easy. Very early in our life cycle, we could get some good projects. And what makes us different is we want to make the customer win. And most of the solutions, what we identify in the market, because cybersecurity is one area which is very, very complex. Okay, like as per the NIST framework, you require almost 40 different areas to get protected. They are called threat surfaces. Okay, and inside of that, there's A, B, C, D, which means 120 to 160 areas to protect in one company. Okay, which makes it more and more complex. Okay, it's like and you can take the parlance from your general awareness. Like typically what I tell nowadays, this is my pitch. Like when I go and talk to customers, I say only one thing. I said, sir, wherever you're staying, like you're staying in a large complex and everything is working fine. You have the best of things there. And suddenly you have some events happening around your vicinity. Okay, some like unwarranted events, like a plane snatching or some killing or something happens. Okay, and then what will be your first reaction? I'm asking you, like if it was you are a
we pretty much get scared, right?
yeah, and then you would try to do some things.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, our instincts will kick up, and we just try to either run away or we try to.
Or you will, like for your home, like you will see your videos are all right, or your keyholes is better, your protections in terms of security of your colony is better, or you may even call up the local police and ask him what is happening, and do all that thing. You may even put a patrolling team amongst yourself, so each resident can go and run around and do things. Many things you will do for yourself. Nothing changed in a house, but something changed in the environment, right? What changed? चोर बढ़ गया है.
Exactly. Yes.
The malicious activity has increased. In Hindi, it's called chor बढ़ गया है. That's the only thing happened, right? And that's the same thing. I now you correlate that with your enterprise. Okay, now some things are happening around, but you will take some action, right? You will keep looking at what can be done, what should not be done, what can be avoided. Some of the practices which you did earlier should learn because the threats have increased, the style has increased, the intensity has increased, the impact is increased. Okay, what happened 2 years back before COVID and after COVID is huge difference. Huge difference. And then companies started working differently. They are working with inside, outside, hybrid mode, traveling mode, and all those things. Suddenly, the umbrella of a firewall is not there for you. Okay, and the attacks are becoming very unique, very, very unique in our interaction because we do a 24/7 SOC and we offer managed detection and response service, and we are also the MSSP partners. We do a lot of incident response as our activity. I see that things have changed drastically, and I have seen some attacks where they use even licensed software to unlock the passwords. So they are so daring nowadays. In fact, a recent episode, a very funny thing happened in the US. One company got hacked, and the hacker went and complained to SEC that the company whom I hacked did not complain, did not complain, did not report.
Wow.
Because within 48 hours, you have to report.
You should report. Yeah, they were not aware.
Yeah, the hacker went and told the authority, the SEC, that the governing authority, that this customer I hacked and this is the data I have, and he is not reported to you. Very funny, right?
No, I think it goes to the fact that they say that you cannot never be 100% secured, but you could do anything you can to keep as much, to keep these threats away, right?
It is an interesting area, and that the environment is changing. Okay, government is also looking at it. So in our instance, like last 6 years, we've understood what the issues are and all those things. Now we want to look at what next. So we're developing our own IPs and all. I'll talk about it.
What I understood, right, Sri, it comes across how passionate you and your business when it comes to customer service, right? That really stands out. And it's clearly evident in terms of business results as well, right? We spoke about, right, within last 2 years, the way kind of growth you had. Because as you're scaling business, it's clearly evident that your revenues are increasing because your customers are trusting you in everything that you do. The services and solutions that you're providing are kind of in line with clients as in because of your passion, right? So going forward a bit, as a leader now, we all know that change is constant in the business world, right? And leaders need to adapt continuously. So how has your leadership style evolved, Shri, since the pandemic?
Actually, when we started the business, it was like all me, mine, myself. Okay, and I am in a place where which is supposed to be the startup hub of Bangalore. Okay, right now where I'm staying in HSR layout, where I believe there are more than 3,500 startups, and out of that, almost the large number of unicorns in this place. So you hear so many success stories, and you also hear not so success stories.
Yeah.
So when we started, like we are the bootstrapped guys, we put our own money. And fortunately, the business what we chose, because I had exposure in some IPs which I'd done in earlier life, wanted to dabble in all those things. So I realized that only one thing, that without money nothing works, and didn't want to go and start up an idea and go to go to a VC and all those things. We went the simple way. We went the advisory way, the brick and mortar way, and started the business the way it is. And fortunately, with our experience and customer knowledge, and the intent was very clear. So and I told about the jobs which we create. The second problem which we are solving is the CIO or the CISO's screen is like a 70 large screen. Okay. And he has many solutions. So what we say is he has many circles in that large screen, and there's still a lot of gaps. And that is what is making him sleepless. Which will somebody penetrate? He doesn't. He has many solutions. Okay, and he's very intelligent also. And best part is the CIO, the CISO, he or she, if you get him and get the intruder in front of the problem in front, they can shoot it quickly. But many times, because of the haziness in getting that right thing, that's what creates the problem for him. So what we bring about is visibility. We bring about him is clarity. We bring about reducing the noise so that he can take action, because he's a very knowledgeable person. Okay, sitting on that seat is not an easy job. Okay, and a CIO's definition, if I know well, 70% outside facing and 30% inside facing. Okay, because he keeps getting all the information what the market wants from his teams, so that he can get it ready in the back end. But 70% is outside and 30% inside. That's what he constitutes. And if I know his job well, and I know what they're doing, so the pain areas solving is very easy. Okay. So and now I think they're realizing that we are here to stay long, and even if the OEM is not there, with the technology what we bring, we still can support. Okay, because that is the kind of people what we have. Okay, so that is the one thing, and it's helping us grow, because when they see that what passion we bring on, what clarity we bring on, when we are here to make them win. When they see that happening, I think then they see the bigger picture, and then what I've seen in my customer accounts is then we've been, it's a win-win for us.
Yeah.
Because I winning and they not winning is not a win-win. It is a bad business. So from a leadership style, okay, from a single individual contributor, or not, like having done MBAs and good knowledge, but never done practically cooking. Like, you know how to cook, but you know what can constitute a good dish, but you don't know how to cook because you've never done it yourself. Or you know all bookish knowledge. Oh, I saw hona chahiye, ye cash flow, I saw ye wo. All languages there, but we don't know how to do it ourselves. So from that perspective, like, so I used to meet my friends. I used to run marathons. So some of my running buddies were all CIOs and or CFOs and all. Made friends with them. I used to have coffee on weekends, understand how to structure things, what is required, what is not required. Very early, we understood some of the government schemes. Today, I thank the present government, all the government schemes, because we were the ones who really went about the CGTMS or MSME schemes, which helps us. Like today, we have a sizable amount of, I would say, credit facilities without actually putting in our own collaterals and all. So I would say, otherwise this would not be possible. Very early customers trusted us. So you need to have the environment. And today you have a good environment if you know how to do things. And as we grew, like we were four of us, it was not easy. There are two who started, and we brought in two more. So we have, and we always looked at it as a family to grow big and all. And out of the whole thing, today almost like 10, 12 people, women, are actually second innings. Like they were professionals, took a break, long break, came back. Nobody looks at them. We said, okay, no problem. So knowingly, unknowingly, we looked at the equality also. And our aim is to get as many women in the company. Today, I think we have a sizable portion, but that's not enough. Uh, our aim is to get 50-50 or even more, so that that part is taken care. And today, even in the 120 people, almost 75% people are from remote places, tier 3, tier 4 towns, people who are from varied backgrounds. They are not like Bs and MBAs and MTechs. They are from BCom, BA, even some are undergraduates. Our policy is bhook hai sikhayega. If you are hungry or show hungerness, we will teach you. And that is how the process is. So early days, we used to even teach them, show them how to read newspapers. So that they learn from the vernacular backgrounds, whatever they came. So those are the kind of investments we are paying today. So our attrition rates are very low, because those engineers or the guys who came out can now implement large solutions. They get like crazy offers. Okay, 4 times, 5 times, but they're still standing on because the kind of exposure what we give. And as we said, like we are the platform. Many times I keep saying that we are like a Wipro 5.0, Infosys 6.0. We have that potential now. We have the kitchen ready. Now we have to go and exploit or explore the market. And today we are getting into the US. We've got some 3 customers now. And we are looking at how to expand to the various market, because that's the place where they appreciate and respect these services. And we have had like in India, if I get a 1 CR order or like 10 million Indian rupees order, in US it is 6 or 10 times that, the pricing. So the kind of complexities what we have handled here is very unique. And when we now, in the last couple of months, we are interacting with a couple of CIOs and CISOs, we realize that we have the right thing. All we need to do is somebody has to get us in front of them. Then they will know the kind of complexities what we have got and how we can solve things. And so some of the things are there. And we've also added a lot of consultants to bring us on speed. Like we have a virtual CFO who helps us to understand things. There are many of my friends who I keep submitting our balance sheets and cash flows and all, who guides us on what is what, or the new things are happening. Regular interviews with a lot of specialists like coaches helps us. Today, fortunate, we've been also selected or shortlisted in Stanford seed program. That is a transformation program by Stanford for Southeast Asian and African entrepreneurs. There are companies from 3 crores to 300 crores, even more. Some 180, 90 companies are shortlisted from this market. And then if the course starts, that's basically an organizational transformation program. We've got shortlisted there. One of our friends referred, saying that this can be a good program, and then we went through the process. So the cohort starts next week. Like I'm attending, and then I have to bring and learn train the trainers, and then I have to get back, and they'll give us a mentor to take it to that level of transformation. So this is all, like, you can't do it alone. You have to have experts around, and people refer people. I think that's what important. People buy from people also.
I mean, it's clearly evident, right, Shri? I mean, people say that as a leader, you need to be vulnerable, and it comes from you, right? You're quite modest enough to show, right, the way you started the company, and the adaptability, right? The way you created a platform, bringing in people's expertise, and going from that me culture to now you as a leader creating that we culture, right? We as a team winning this business. And in fact, Deloitte says in one of their surveys shows that, right, 63% of the people who join the company, they would love to work for a company that has purpose, right? I mean, clearly you have a well-defined purpose in terms of your aspirations, how you want it to go, and you bringing that diversity in terms of either bringing from people from remote places, or bringing women as a part of diversity. All the traits that are required. No wonder why you're so successful in the last 6 years, right? It's clearly evident because all the great things is happening here. But in terms of now switching gates a bit, Shri, how, I mean, you all know every company has its heartbeat, what we call it's a culture, right? How would you describe your company's culture?
Well, it is like if you recollect Korean style, the Amul,
Okay.
where it's like when you asked me this question, it suddenly struck me like it's when I say platform, you can do whatever you want. If you run fast, you can take a position. We say there are 130 countries you can grow
Okay.
because that is how it is. And these are the people who will grow with us. Okay, we have a certain aspiration. Like today, when Naran Murthy says, like they created, I would say not a company, they created a huge, I would say a family. Okay, and those are the inspirations for us. And that is what the culture is all about. It's all about how can we make them win? Okay, because they have betted on us joining our company. See, you have to appreciate that fact. Okay, we've also changed jobs. Now, when I change jobs and when I stuck at some company, it's so many parameters, right? And I am also betting on my career, my personal life, my family future, and coming to work with us. Okay, and if that person is successful, or if he is nurtured or helped, knowing very well that yes, everybody is not perfect, and we can grow as a team. I think that's what would make us unique and different, and that's what will help us to have more talents. Like today, when I see, like we were looking for sales professionals for our organization, and when I get CVs from ex Microsoft or ex large OEMs CV coming to us, that says that we have arrived.
Yes.
They join me or they don't join me is secondary, but that CV coming to me or my organization, and I'm hiring also a couple of them. So it says we have arrived, and I think when people are referring them to us, it's our friends only who say, okay, go to this company, they're good. Okay, not just looking at a LinkedIn ad and coming in like. So they have seen some things happening, and it's okay to fall because the culture is like you fall, it's okay, it's my fault. If you win, it's yours. Take it. So it's okay. We were also not perfect. We are not perfect now also. If you can allow vulnerability in me, I can allow that in you also.
That's a pretty impressive. I mean, I like the way you said we win as a team, right?
Definitely.
And it's a pretty impressive. I mean, does it because you're scaling so fast, right, Shri? Because the kind of passion that you and your colleagues have built up, so the more people joining in, is there any challenge that you would see in the coming in maintaining your strong company culture, right? What do you think is the biggest challenge for you to maintain that company's culture?
Yeah, actually, good question. That is the puzzle. That's the puzzle which we are all solving, because what the founders brought on board, and the passion what we brought, how do we percolate it to the every level? Okay, and that is something which I want to learn from all the major successful people. Like I gave an example of Infosys, where 9 people joined together, and how they created, and they are not there, but how they created a company, a culture of I don't know, 200,000-300,000. My brother was working there, so I know a little bit of him. But then at TCS for that matter. Okay, so how do that percolate down? What are the systems and processes that you want to bring down? What is the right measure? How much of discipline, how much of casualness can you have in a company? I don't know all that questions. So now I'm talking to a lot of experts to understand how and why. We don't know. Because if you see, there are lots of one point that stands apart, Kiran, is there are lots of entrepreneurs who have created an empire in this life. Let's take from Bezos to the Infosys, or to the Palo Altos, or to to the large companies. One life, and they started small. And suddenly a lot of things came their way. They changed themselves, they modified themselves, and they took leap of faith and they grew big. So it is a matter of time. Just a matter of time to become from where we are to a unicorn, or I don't know what. Because we will not be considered unicorn because I don't take money from outside. People who take money from outside only becomes unicorn.
No, but to that point, Shri, you're completely right. To be honest, certainly it's a challenge for many, right? It's just not for you. Because as businesses, it's easy when you grow from 0 to 25. It's absolutely fine. But as soon as you get more people, you see culture getting diluted because you're bringing more people. The passion that you carry is not, and most importantly, you don't have time anymore to cultivate, right? The similar lot of passion to your team. So on that note, I have another question around the employee engagement, because Shri, culture is like a wind. It is invisible, but it can be seen and felt, right? So the more, as you rightly pointed, like more and more people are joining your company, right? And you need to have the right kind of culture. Not only you're attracting right talent, but also retain the right talent, right? On that note, employee engagement has been one of the hottest topic, because I'll give you one data point, right? In India, 33% of workforce are engaged. The rest of them are either disengaged or actively disengaged, right? So on that note, what practices have you found most effective in keeping your team currently engaged and connected? You're on mute, by the way.
So basically, quite a good question. And I'm thinking to develop an answer because we keep doing this. So one of the things what we do is we allow them multiple assignments. We don't put them in straight jackets like, okay, you do this for next 2 years. But one of the good things what help people work in our organization is they get exposure to multiple technologies. And that's what makes a difference. Okay. And so company engaging the employees, because that is one of the key things, because when you say culture, it all starts from there. Like, so when you're saying platform, so how does it make a platform? When I say attrition is low, what makes them tick? Those are the things. So one of the things what we saw was, which we didn't design, but since we had resources who are from various backgrounds, and we wanted to create a cyber army of people with like a nippers who can do multiple things. And the initial days itself, the people around have been trained in that way. I've been fortunate to have befriended guys like Uttam and Rajesh, who are my co-founder colleagues. I met somebody who was an office boy and has 2 houses in Bombay, trained by Uttam and Rajesh.
Wow.
So today he's a very senior engineer in semantic technologies. So I know that these guys, if you give them something, they will make a diamond out of that. Okay, and that is a culture. Somehow, when I went and, as I told, my colleague Uttam comes from a village where every person aspires to go to the army. His own father was an ex-army man. His brother is a Cobra or the thing. And he was one guy who came out of that and joined the cybersecurity. And today he calls, and today we have so many people from his village who want to do something like an army, like a cyber. Okay. So now this is what makes the difference. I have gone and made a pitch there. In the initial days, we took a hotel, we said, okay, let us take a village and take them. Like we'll create a center of that place. Because what we said was, how can we give opportunity? See, I am an engineer. Even for me, getting the first job was a challenge. Okay, because nobody wants to take a novice. They wants to always try with 2 years, 3 years experience. Now, being an engineer is a problem. So imagine a BCom, a BA, and I don't know who else. What problems they will be facing. And today, when I go and see huge challenges, if I go to a BCA college or a BBA college or an MBA college, the top guys get it, but almost 80% guys don't get what they should get. They end up being something. Can I create that here? And once I create that and give them the opportunity, they have seen for themselves. I have colleagues who are senior managers, started trainees in a company like Ola and many other companies. And we are okay after 4 years if they work here, 5 years if they work here, and they get better opportunities, because we know that they are our patrons. Some wherever they are, they will look at us, because the culture what we have is something unique. And in many organizations, we have seen that. Like today, we have created almost like a good, I would say, this is how it is. And now we have something called Vinca Academy, which we are nurturing. So in that place, we train students or youngsters, and then we actually now today we are absorbing it. But then now I am talking to large companies like the big names, where I'm saying if you take trainees and you give them like 1 year, 2 years of training, and if you take my boys or girls, and if I can reduce 6 months to 8 months for your billability, can it be a ROI for you? Okay, and they have accepted this way of looking at things, because they are also looking at billability. And if I am almost on the verge of signing a few things, because I'm looking at how to scale up that whole thing and all, because we are in this business, and how to do that and all is what we are looking at. But then there is a big dearth of resources, and that's what we are going to cater to. Okay, so that's one big area which we see differently. And we were invited on a university to create an MTech course, MS in cybersecurity. So there are many things that are happening parallelly to look at it. And from an employee engagement point of view, as I rightly said, we are calling it as a platform. Now that is the culture. Okay, and if I see the way of bringing about the many people who may not be right for that job from a fitment, but then if I groom them, they will be.
Yeah.
And that's perfectly all right. So I have youngsters who are like who are put into grind. They're learning. They're passionate. They're not typically engineers or cybersecurity engineers or whatever. But today they're learning, and people around are seeing us. Like our marketing head, she was some 8 years, 6 years gap. She didn't know anything about digital marketing, and today we, like last month, for the first time she came and celebrated, saying that we have 1,000 hits on our website, which was for us also a learning, because and today when I got a inbound lead, a big company, somebody CISO asking us, can you do this? I in fact went and did a high five, because
big achievement. Yeah.
we don't want to spend money. We are frugal there, because I know that people can spend tons of money in digital marketing, and I am doing my own tweaking. I have to have patience. So it's a big achievement for us. Okay, so I know the right methods is there. I am there available. Maybe I will very like a chief mentor now. Like, so I go to field calls, not to sell, but to share the culture with the sales team. I go to them, though there's a sales head, I tell them, so I need to draw a thin line. Like I'm not here to close the deals, but I'm here to help the team to learn how to talk about our company with passion. So those are the things which we are doing now, which slowly will change. I think that is what it is. And when these sales leaders in the couple of years, when they senior out and they go to new territories, we will have what we want.
It's clearly evident, right, Shri? You have a growth culture, right? I mean, you're leading from the front where it comes to show, tell, and observe, right? You're showing things, right, how it is. And suddenly that you're nurturing the young talent to get into that. And when they grow, they will be showing them, they will be telling, and then the people can observe it. And it's quite amazing. Well, lastly, Shri, what are the emerging trends within the industry that you think are going to reshape your strategy for talent development?
So one is definitely the changing pace of AI ML. Though AI ML was there for long, but LLM changed some things. Now we still don't know what is the right and wrong way, but I see that as a huge, like I can use an LLM tool as a coach. I use that now in a couple of instances when I had to go for a meeting, and I said, okay, you are an expert, and teach me, like I am going for this meeting, and what I should avoid and what I should keep, and what I should ask so that I can get the right answer. So I was surprised by the answer. Okay, I was surprised, and when I used it, it got me the result. So that's going to be how you tell this tool who you are and what you want. I think if we can use it now, I'm like profusely. The other day, I created a proposal which I cannot create myself as a non-technical person, more of a business, and I have enough knowledge, but not deep knowledge. And when I created a proposal on a complete SOC proposal, 20, 30 pages, and I shared it with my technical colleagues or my colleague, co-founder colleagues, they were like zapped. They said, "Kya kar diya aapne?" So I said, you have to ask the right questions. And then you have to keep asking, keep patiently. And within 2 hours, I created a proposal for that. And so today that's possible. So if you know how to harness this thing for your own personal learning, and use these tools as your personal coach, knowing what to ask, what to expect, and like prompt engineering is going to be the next big thing, is what I see. And I am constantly searching of what are the right languages to use to get those right answers, because I saw that it's a huge game changer. Okay, you don't even have to be an expert, but you can get that. So that I see, that I see as one of the important things. Second thing, what I see game changing is roti, kapda, makan, and cybersecurity.
That is happening, sir. Already it's happening, Shri.
So that is changing because yesterday I saw an RBI report, which was a 6 days old report, where RBI said, please invest money where it is required. Don't do that. Okay, and one of the banks got hacked, and RBI told you're going to be fined more because you didn't do whatever you were supposed to do. So there is going to be more and more stricter things, because it is our, like, if as a proud Indian, I definitely want things to be protected. So
Yeah.
And the impact of all this technology on cybersecurity. Okay, in the sense, not cybersecurity per se. How do you be safer? Okay, because you are talking about carbon footprint, and you're talking about so many other things. How can technology be a game changer? Okay, how can you? So these are my thoughts. Like, okay, because what I've understood in this last couple of months and years is, when I was in MNC, I had a big purse to spend on marketing. And now when I don't have any purse and I'm frugal, okay, and I'm seeing it can give me results, but you need to have patience, and you need to have the high tenacity, determination to keep digging to see what's happening. Right. And that is what I'm seeing. And second big thing, what I'm seeing is, uh, after COVID, especially, the game changing is people are okay to meet you remotely.
Yeah.
Which was like out of, so it's a huge chance to expand. Okay, so maybe as we go, like, my field guys will be lesser, and we will have to equip ourselves like how you have a big mic for your thing. Okay, we have to equip ourselves with that kind of things. Okay, so the language is becoming important today. The communication is becoming important. What are the questions that we ask to get an answer which you want? Okay, and that is going to be the next big thing, because if you are so much of online, you can't do what you used to do earlier. Okay, and you don't have the chance to sit on next to the coffee side or the water side and keep chatting, or go down for a chai and talk. That is reducing. People are okay to meet online. Our digital time is much more. Our lifestyles are changing. And these are all the game changers. And as we become more and more used to these new technologies, you will also become more and more vulnerable to that, what it opens up.
Yeah.
Okay, like the side effects or the cause and effect. So those are the game-changing thing, and technology is really changing fast.
It's like, right, Shri, there are always a pros and cons. I mean, as you rightly pointed, the more and more companies now, especially going back with the sales example, there's no longer needed for you to visit your clients every
Yes.
single meeting, right? And in fact, as I was just reading today, this morning, the Zoom and many research has been conducted. Online remote work, right? People are more productive. 50% are more productive than pre-pandemic, where used to go to offices, right? So there's a lot of things that are happening, and you rightly pointed, if you harness the technology in a right way, you can get a lot out of it. But it also gives you the challenges, because the more people you got hybrid workforce, again, from a leadership standpoint, managing that culture, maintaining that culture, making sure that your team is engaged, is an opportunity for leaders to further develop themselves and get into that. But I think you've shared some amazing insights, Shree, and finally, is there any wisdom that you'd like to share about yourself or about your company to the audience?
Yeah, before that, I want to also say, like, when we started as a services company, now we are also developing our own IPs.
Great.
We are developing something on the API security and encryption, where we've got one is already we got the copyright of the patent, and the second we are on the way. And we see that can be game changing as the technology goes. And now I answer the question. I think the why is very important. Why you start a business? Okay, just because you felt bored, because it's mid-life crisis I'm seeing around my friends working in large companies, and suddenly they say, bore ho gaya, ye karna hai. I said, don't do that. And then don't become a victim of your own things, because you will fall down on your own esteem. So my request to everybody who wants to start business, please start. Please create jobs. We've created 120, 145, 50 jobs. And that means 150 families to take care. So which is good. So everybody, and there's a lot of good things happening by the government to support us. Okay, even if you see the news that money is not coming in, don't worry. If your basics are clear, if you are passionate about something that you want to contribute, something wants to grow bigger, there's always a way. Like example, your own organization. You want to tell the stories about all the things happening, so that can inspire some, and possibly inspire somebody to take up a leap of faith and say, okay, let me do something. So that is what it makes a difference, Kiran. And as per me, if you see our backgrounds, our genesis, my father was not from a great family, came to Bombay, half pant, nothing, half shirt, or somebody sponsored. So from there to whatever we are. So why I'm saying all this is because there's definitely something that you need to look at why, and then you can do whatever you want to do. Everything will fall in place. Like they say, na kainat saath aa jayega. So it will come. It will come.
And I think, thank you, Shri. And going back to that why, right? Why is very, 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 very important for the audience as well. People are very, very good to explain how and what, but why is what is challenge. In fact, I'm very inspired by another leader called Simon Sinek. Right? He's quite phenomenal when he has that golden circle. But what I loved about your passion about in terms of creating jobs, Shri, I mean, if that thought wouldn't have come to you 6 years or 7 years ago, you wouldn't have created 150 jobs. And this is just a start. The kind of aspirations that you have and the kind of business revenue models that you're creating across different channels. And I'm sure sky is the limit for you. On that note, thank you, Shri, for joining us and sharing your journey at Vincacyber. We wish you and your team continued success, and we shall certainly be in touch.
Thank you.